Yeah, I definitely think there is a gap in education, specifically between schools that have a lot of families from like lower socioeconomic status and families that come from middle and upper class areas.
I feel like I didn't have like the same opportunities as like some of the kids I'm in the class with. Like sometimes I feel like I didn't learn as much as they did, or I didn't like take like some of the like great classes it seemed like they had the opportunity to take during high school, or like sometimes my classes didn't even have teachers for like months. So it's just like I feel like I lost out on some like important concepts I should have learned in high school. I didn't like I learned.
I think a lot has to do with history, how, because that's how our sort of mindsets have been shaped and formed. For example, there's a lot of people still today. I know there's a lot of movements going on and things are changing, but at the same time, there are still a lot of, within the older generations, a lot of they have a traditional mindset. And so I guess that can create tension within the classrooms and universities.
Working in two different schools and having been in a lot of different schools, you can see that the schools that have students from lower class families have a lot less resources. They don't have the programs that other schools might have. And one of the schools I'm in now, they are not even fully staffed. They don't have enough teachers. They don't have the extra things like music or art or PE. The students aren't getting to do those things every week. As well as just like their day-to-day resources, laptops or computers or textbooks, any of that stuff. I definitely think there's a difference.
Parents' involvement in like a student's life is like really big. Like how much they pay attention really shows in like their classroom work and like how they behave.
I think that the students that have more resources are more likely to succeed and are given more chances and opportunity to be successful because they're being handed support systems and resources, like whether or not it's physical things or programs that are there to help them along the way. Having those things is going to help them get through school, get them into college or into a trade school or into a job. And the schools and the students that don't get those resources don't have the same opportunities.
I feel like lower income families really don't have the same opportunities. Like you gotta account for like SAT prep and like ACT prep. Like if you don't have like the money, you're not gonna really do that well on the SAT, and that's like a huge chunk of like your applications.
So I've been pretty lucky to go to great schools in the past with great teachers. So I think not too much is different, like in terms of the teachers itself, I guess, just because, again, if I need help, I can go to them and ask for help. I guess the only difference would be the size of the classrooms, because that does affect how a professor teaches. For example, if you're in high school, there's a much more smaller class, so you have 20 students, for example, and if you have a question straight away, you can ask, and you can do this in the university settings, but people would be more hesitant to do so because they'd be more shy.
I think it's probably more of a societal issue. I don't see any reason why schools with more lower class families should be getting less resources than other schools. A lot of funding comes from the government, so it doesn't make sense that some schools would be getting more resources than others. And I don't think it's fair to those families.
I've been pretty blessed with where I've gone to school in the past, having gone to international schools, but I'm sure it still exists today, and I think I don't know much about it, but perhaps it would be more within the older generations because, as I said before, they have a more traditional mindset, and so that's their beliefs are going to affect their behaviors.
Well, since I want to be like a kindergarten teacher, I feel like little kids seeing like another black girl and like somebody that looked just like them will like really uplift them as like a young child, and like seeing that they can do it too.
So I can see they're doing their best to make changes and to make university life better for students. But I guess the only thing I could think of is when it comes to just one-on-one relationships with professors.
I think it has to start with like funding and policies. I think there need to be some big changes there. As far as what can I do, I think supporting programs like what I do now with restorative justice, programs that are serving all the schools equally, and putting themselves in places where there might not be other resources. Those are the kinds of things that I can do.